Woo! The tailgate continues, Ashley. Here we go. Day one. I got Joey and Mark. Mr. Frampus in the house, and it's wintertime with Mr. Winter. What's up, guys?
Good afternoon.
I bet Mark gets that one a lot.
I do get that one a lot. Yep, I do get that a lot.
And then you're going to be Mark Summer, right, in summertime?
Well, it just makes me seek out warm areas. Hence the Staffing Sales Summit in Florida, right? Best place to be in March.
Yeah, I gotta love it, man. And I gotta tell you, both of you guys are veterans. Mark's been there 3 years, and Joey, what is it, 2 or 3?
This is my second one. This is my second one. Yeah. So Mark has me.
Well, Mark got a 10-year deal, I heard, so we don't talk about that.
So, not that everything's a competition, but if it was, I would win.
Ooh, there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you guys take it, man. Me and Ashley have been talking enough here, man, and we want to have fun with this. So, Joey, what brings you back every year besides them calling you, man? What do you think about this this tailgate, and what about the summit too?
Yeah, so obviously the tailgate, I get to talk to you,
yeah.
Richard. Like I saw your post about working outside, and I was like, that is like the most like Richard post ever. So
dude, 1 hour, man. I'm not gonna lie, my fingers were numb at the end. I did 1 hour. My brother was here to verify it, man. I was like, dude, what the hell? Let's do it.
Yeah. So I think this summit specifically, I mean, a lot of the big staffing summits are so big. Like the SIAs, the ASAs, they're great because they're so industry wide. But like I think Dan does a really good job keeping this one super small, almost exclusive feeling, good content, very applicable things.
Yeah.
Opposed to these big grand ideas that like $1 billion staffing firm can do, and not like your $50 million staffing firm, right? So I like that aspect of it. And I'm in Chicago, and so going to Orlando in March. I wish it was this month. Like it's 20 degrees right now.
Ew, gross.
I know.
Gross.
I know.
But I got to tell you guys, all joking aside, we don't know what Florida weather is going to be like. We think it's going to be sunshine. Hell, they had snow last week.
Oh, hush your mouth. It's going to be warm and beautiful.
Yeah. Even if it's 60 degrees, I'll hit the water park. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Look at you, man.
Still better than this. Hey, you know what though? I think conferences. I feel like conferences have been getting so vanilla. Like they're trying to appeal to so many different people that you never know what you're going to get. And you look at the schedule, and sometimes I know that there are people that go to conferences and they look at the schedule and they're like, oh, I can bow out of this section. Like right after lunch, I'm just going to miss that. I'm going to catch up on some work. One of the things that I love about the Staffing Sales Summit is it's got one of those agendas where you're like, I don't know where I'm going to get my work done because I don't want to miss anything. You know, like I'm gonna. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there because you don't have the typical agenda fluff where you can squirrel away and check email because you don't want to miss stuff. But how awesome is that it's 2 days of stuff that's really just relevant for you. I think that's the best part. If I wasn't speaking, I would still attend. So
exactly.
Yeah.
We're all in there together, like speakers and listeners and sponsors and roundtables. Like all of it is a group effort and really a community, like Dan said. So I couldn't agree more. And
the number's perfect, guys. 120. It's not 2,000 people. 120, Joey. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good size.
All right, guys, it is good to see it growing. By the way, Mark, where's your beer at?
Oh, I'm
where's
sorry.
your beer at?
He's doing work. Somebody's got to earn some money around here. He's doing work. Don't tell him I was on this thing that I was just having fun in the middle of the workday. He thinks I'm on some important meeting.
Okay, guys, I don't know. Joey, we'll go with you first, Joey. So tell us about your presentation. Give me a little teaser of what's going to happen, man.
Yeah, so I'm actually pairing up with David Stearns from Haley Marketing. So he is focusing on like how do we marry sales and marketing? And mine specifically is how are individual producers, sellers, and or recruiters using AI in their workflows. So think of it like not as a way to work, but the way to work. I mean, as everyone knows, like AI is a massive buzzword. All these point solutions are getting sold of like, hey, this magical thing is going to fix your business. And we just try to keep it super simple. Like we're salespeople at Butler Street. Like how do we use it? How do we institutionalize it? And how do we make it so simple that it's impossible not to use? And so we have a few new things up our sleeves. I'm not going to tell too much because we actually had a meeting this morning of like almost like a brain trust of like how do we how do we make sure that this is systematized that we can bring to our customers? So that's really what mine's going to cover. And so individual producers will be great for mine, leaders as well.
I love that. And you know what, Ashley, I got to tell you straight up. With the summit here, there's so much about AI and sales because, Joey and Mark, you know what? There's so much in AI. If you ask any business owner, their head's spinning. They're like, what do I jump on? Do I do ChatGPT? Do I buy a solution, staffing solution? I mean, Joey, that's where you guys come in and try to like help them out because I'm sure you see this all the time, both of you, that these owners are so effing confused. I'm going to straight up like that about AI. They have no clue what's going to happen.
And so it's interesting. So there's actually this massive disparity on the promises of AI and what the reality is. So the Wall Street Journal just wrote an article that got released last week. And the question was like, how much time is AI saving you? And the C-suite was like 8 to 12 hours. Like the majority of the C-suite was 8 to 12 hours. Majority of individual contributors were 0 to 2 hours. So there's this massive disconnect between what's expected and what's actually happening, which causes confusion. And then that causes frustration, and that just leads to turnover. So we're trying to solve that disparity gap in what is real and what is just talk.
Love it. All right, Mark, you're up on the stage, brother. What's your presentation like, man?
Yeah, so I've got two. Day one, we're going to talk about buyers. So we're going to flip the script. Instead of talking about how to sell, we're going to talk about how to help people buy. And in order to know that, we got to know what's in the buyers' heads. So I've been compiling what I'm seeing out in the field from a buyer's perspective, everything that they're saying and asking for and doing and how they're structured. And we're going to lay it out, and it'll start with a timeline of what's actually changed. Because I think sometimes staffing sellers are a little bit behind the curve. They're still playing catch up. They think people are buying the same way they used to, and their expectations aren't being met, and that's causing some frustration. So we're going to get rid of that frustration. We're gonna look at things from the buyer's perspective, and hopefully that from a sales leadership standpoint, I expect that sales leaders will help coach their folks differently and set realistic expectations. From a salesperson standpoint, I know that there's going to be some people that are beating their head against the wall that are going to show up there to be like, no wonder I've been so frustrated. And we'll alleviate some of that frustration. So that's part one. That's day one. Day two, or I'm sorry, that's actually day two. Day three, my session is on establishing a sales culture. So there's two C words that are thrown around all the time in sales and staffing. One is culture, and one is taking a counselor approach, the consultative approach to sales. I think the consultative approach can help build your culture, but those two words are very generic. And so we're going to bust them down. Say, what does it mean to have this? What does it mean to build a sales culture? How do you actually do it? What are the building blocks of it? And I suspect that most of the people in the room, especially from a leadership perspective, it won't be new news. Maybe the way we structure it will be new, but there's things out there that are tried and true that have to be part of that foundation. And we're just going to make sure that everybody has the tools. There should be no reason that people can't walk away with a fairly, we'll call it half-baked plan to go back home and structure their sales organization the right way.
Do you see double-digit growth in 26 for everybody?
I do if they play their cards right. Sure.
Ooh,
Listen, the market's projecting single-digit growth across the board. Low. We subscribe to ITR Economics, and they're showing orange, which is slowing growth, somewhere up to 5% growth. Cool. So that's a gift from the marketplace. Will grow that much just because the market is. The other half of that is going to have to come from outpacing, outselling, outdeveloping your competitors. We're in a space right now where people have to eat their competitors' lunch, or you're missing out. The pie is huge and big enough for successful companies to do well over double-digit growth, but you have to take it off someone else's plate. So if you're too timid or too disorganized or not using the right tools, to Joey's point, then you're not going to be able to get ahead and do that. But if you get those things in line, the world is your oyster.
So that means you could be a shark in 26.
You can be a shark.
Always on the hunt.
You can be a shark. You got to be on the hunt. Heck
Woo!
yeah, man.
Mark, that's it. Your first session, Mark, is super interesting. I have a question. How many customers did you interview to prep for that? Or how did you prep for that? Like what type of customers did you interview?
Lots. So I'm in the field. I'm in the field now. Lots, dozens. I don't know what the total number is. No idea.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yep. But we spent the entire day bell to bell yesterday out in the field talking to customers and talking to prospects and gauging prospect reaction and trying different scripts and watching people's reaction. And
that's gonna be brilliant.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Love it. Okay, one question and we're out of here because this is something I always talk about. The leaders right now, give me your take on them. How much engagement should they have with the salespeople? We always say they should be, engaged a lot. Give me your take. I know Mark's laughing already, man. So you see these leaders here, they say, well, the salesperson didn't get their goals and stuff like that, but they're so disconnect. How do we get them on the same page?
Mark, I'll let you lead that one off.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think we're in a space right now where I would rather have a great sales leader managing average or even just below average salespeople than I would to have one or two salespeople and little to no sales management. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you can get a lot further right now with a better sales leader managing the team than if you just had a couple of rock star performers just out there doing their thing.
That's just not scalable.
What's that? It's not scalable.
It's not scalable.
It's not scalable. And there's too much that's getting missed. Things are changing too fast and there's too many moving parts to rely on salespeople to pick up all the pieces themselves. They have to have support. They have to have sales enablement. They have to have the connection between sales and marketing, and sales leaders play in that space. They have to have good coaching and development. They've got to have all that stuff. If you're not doing that, you're crazy. You're missing out. I've said it before at the sales summit. If you have no self-respecting salesperson is going to suffer for more than a quarter with their own numbers. If you have a salesperson that had a bad couple of quarters, or worse yet, a bad year, that's a sales management problem, not a salesperson problem. So it's critical right now that we have sales oversight, sales leadership, coaching, call it whatever you want, but somebody's got to be watching the salespeople and providing them resources. It's not about being under the thumb. It's about providing resources and propping them up.
There you go.
The worst advice a sales leader can say is like, make more calls, to keep doing what you're doing, right? You have to be in the boat with them. And so, a lot is changing. Like when I think of sales leadership, it's like, okay, what am I doing to be in the boat with my people to help them grow? And knowing that like accountability is a form of care. Like by not holding someone accountable to activity metrics, call metrics, whatever it may be, that's basically just telling them that you don't care about them and what they're doing doesn't matter. So like some leaders that we come across, they struggle holding people accountable because they don't want to be micromanaging. But like accountability is just showing that you actually care about the person and want them to be successful. So that would be my take. Like, don't be afraid to hold people accountable. And if you let and Mark, this, like if you let a salesperson flounder, like it's a term form waiting to happen. Yeah. So like, what are you doing? Right.
Or the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I also hear, he knows what he's doing or she knows what she's doing. The best thing I can do for them is just stay out of their way and let them do it. No, it isn't. That's a cop-out. That just means you haven't sat down and figured out what it's going to take to challenge them or to move the needle with those people. You would never. That's just bad advice. Yeah. Like pay attention to your salespeople.
The best athletes don't not get coached.
Right.
So it's like, LeBron James has a strength coach.
Yeah.
Staffing coach. There you go. That's what we're just summing up with. Staffing coach. And these leaders out there, I'm going to sum it up like this, Ashley. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, get off your AZZ and get out in the field with your peeps. Am I right?
100%. Get your hands dirty. Let's go.
Woo! All right, guys. So 25 more days. You guys ready for Florida? We're going to be there. So before we get out of here, anything else, man? I mean, besides this, guys, you got to see Joey. You got to see Mark, Ashley, myself there. Don't miss out. We only got 20 tickets left. Right, Mark?
That's right. Yep.
And that was this morning.
Right. It's the show of the year. You may as well start off the year right. Get there and get all pumped up and
pumped up.
Yep.
Let's
hit some targets.
And let me get this right. Both of you will do Q&A after your presentations, right?
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. One-on-one with Joey and Mark. There you go. That's priceless right there. All right, fellas. Hey, thank you so much for the tailgate, man. I'll see you in the Big O. Hey, Ashley, see you later.
See you
All right.
guys.
Bye,
We're
guys.
out of
See you,
here.
folks. Happy selling out there.